Hi there. To start off our literacy lesson today, we're going to be looking at the OR sound, and we're going to be looking at using the letters AW or AU to make OR words. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a word with a gap, and you're going to have to work out which of the OR sounds goes in that gap. So I'll do the first couple for you, and then I want you to have a go at seeing if you can do the rest yourself. You'll need a piece of paper and a pencil to make sure that you are able to write down the missing gaps. So the first word I've got or pause, like pausing a game. If I was to do pause as in pausing a game, the AW doesn't look right, does it? The AU does look right. So I know that pause is spelt Pause. The word haunted, I would need to put an A and a U in to make the word haunted. So I'm going to reveal the rest of the words on the screen now. Pause the video and see if you can have a go at filling in the correct OR sound. If you're not sure, maybe try one of them, see if it looks right, maybe try the other one, and then work out which of those looks correct to you. If you make any mistakes, it's not a problem, we can fix them together afterwards. So here are the words. Pause now and see if you can have a go at seeing if you can work out what OR grapheme goes in the space. Okay, let's check and see what you've got so far. So we have this word here, or claw, like a claw. So we've got AW for that one. We've got or draw, as in draw a picture. Or. We've then got or yawning, as in oh, I'm so tired, I'm yawning. Again, that is an A and a W for yawning. Over here, we've got or sauce, as in I poured the sauce on my dinner to make it taste nice, which would be an A and a U. I've got or straw. I used the straw to drink my milkshake, which is an A and a W. And then the last one, we've got August. August. Now, the thing is with August is that's the name of a month of the year, which means that as well as having the or sound, it's also got to have that capital A at the start. And it's an A and a U. Now, well done if you got all 8 of those correct. Give yourself a score. If there's any that you spelt wrong, maybe try practicing writing that word 3 times, and then it might go into your head to help you to spell that word in the future. Now, today, for the main part of our lesson, we're going to see if we can describe a character from a story. Now, we started reading the story of Adelita yesterday, and we're going to be continuing to look at that story in this lesson and for the rest of the week. So, to be successful today, we're going to see if we can use adjectives to describe a character's personality and appearance. We're going to see if we can use verbs and adverbs to describe what a character might do. We're going to use coordinating conjunctions to explain a bit more detail, and see if we can use subordinating conjunctions to explain as well. Now, we don't know much about Adelita yet because we've only read the first part of the story. So before we carry on, I'd like to read the next part of the story. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but remember, yesterday, at the start of our lesson, we were looking at the story of Adelita, and we saw that Francisco was married to a lady called Adela. They had a child called Adelita and a helper called Esperanza who helped around the house. Now, sadly, when Adelita was born, Adela died, which meant that Francisco was left to look after Adelita with Esperanza helping them. Now, after a while, he met Donna Michaela and decided that he wanted to remarry. And Donna Michaela had 2 daughters called Valentina and Dolce. And Esperanza wasn't sure about them. Esperanza thought that they were cold, which means that she thought that they weren't very nice people. And we're going to read the next part of the story now and find out a little bit more about Adelita.
Life was happy, but different. Adelita had to share her father's attention, but they still managed to have importantes momentos juntos, special moments together. Adelita didn't mind that Donna Michaela favoured her daughters, even though Esperanza complained. Es natural, it's natural, Adelita told her. Then suddenly her father died from an illness, and everything changed. Poor Adelita was an orphan. Donna Michaela had always been jealous of Adelita. Now she no longer had to hide it. She moved Adelita from her beautiful bedroom to a small room in the attic. No longer did Adelita have new dresses. She had to wear hand-me-downs. Worst of all, Valentina and Dolce were mean and hateful to her. Adelita began spending all her time in the kitchen with Esperanza. She helped her with the meals. She listened to stories about her father as a boy and her mother as a young bride. Because she knew Esperanza loved her, Adelita's heart stayed as warm as the fire in the hearth. One day, Donna Michaela came to the kitchen and spoke to them. "I am spending too much money in this household. From now on, you, Adelita, will work in the kitchen. You're here all the time anyway. And you, Esperanza, out. I want you to leave immediately." "Oh, Senora de la Fortuna, please don't send me away," Esperanza pleaded. "I have been with this family since I was a girl. I will work for no money, just for a place to lay my head and a bowl of beans and a tortilla." "Oh, please, Mama," Adelita begged. "Esperanza can share my room and my food." "Out!" shouted Senora Michaela de la Fortuna to Esperanza. Then, in an icy voice, she spoke to Adelita. "And don't you dare call me Mama again. I am Donna Michaela to you." She turned and left, nose in the air. Entre lagrimas y abrazos, amid tears and hugs, poor Esperanza said goodbye to Adelita and left, with her meagre belongings. Adelita was in despair. The days ahead held nothing but loneliness and hard work. Adelita had to prepare all the meals, clean the rooms, and fetch and carry for Valentina and Dolce, who became more like Medad y Vinegre, meanness and vinegar.
So I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel a little bit sorry for Adelita. She seems to be in a really awful situation, doesn't she? Now that we know a little bit more about her, we might be able to do a bit of description about what she is like. So we can describe two things. We can describe her appearance, which means the way that she looks, and we can describe her personality. That could be the way that she behaves. So what I'd like you to do is see if you can make a mind map of vocabulary that you could use to describe the way that she looks. So you can use that picture on the screen to help you, or to describe her personality. That means what she is like as a character. Now, obviously, we don't know loads of details about her yet. We only know a little bit. But what you do know, you can use to help inform your ideas about what her personality is like. Did you have enough time to come up with some words? You might want to use some of those words when you're doing your descriptions later. Now, I've got some words in my head about how I would describe her personality and her appearance as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a go at writing some sentences using those ideas. So when I'm writing sentences with those ideas, I have to make sure that I include the vocabulary I've come up with, and maybe I need to use a conjunction to add a bit more detail and explain why she is the way she is. So I could start off by describing the way that she looks. So I could say, she has a beautiful smile which she shows to people even when she's feeling a little bit miserable. So can you see in that sentence, I've described the way that she looks because I've described her face and her smile, and I've used the conjunction which to explain about what that shows. It shows that shows that she's nice to people and shows of her smile even when she's not feeling her completely 100% happy. If I want to describe her personality, I might say she is very kind because she helps Esperanza to tidy up the house. So again, I've used the word kind to describe what she's like, and then I've said what she does as well to show that she's kind, using that because as a conjunction to explain in a bit more detail. So that's my turn. That's me using the vocabulary I've come up with and describing that to the reader. What I'd like you to do for your task is to describe Adelita's personality and appearance. I'd like you to write at least 2 sentences for each. So 2 to do with her personality and 2 to do with her appearance. So that's 4 sentences in total. It does say at least, so if you would like to write more, then go for it. And I'd like to see if you could use conjunctions where possible to extend your ideas and explain in a bit more detail. There's some examples on the screen there of different sentences that you could use, but I obviously don't want you to steal them. I want you to come up with your own ideas. But these are just some ideas that you could see to use for your writing task today. If you do need any help at all, do feel free to send a message on DB Primary, and I'm happy to offer you a little bit of support. But I look forward to reading your sentences a little bit later on about Adelita's personality and appearance.